Insidious the Red Door works the best when it's being insidious, not insidious the college years. Hey everyone, my name is Gavin and I love horror. Today I'll be reviewing the last chapter in the Insidious franchise, Insidious the Red Door. Now I say it's the final chapter, but is it though? Regardless, if this is a finale, did the Insidious franchise end in a satisfying way? Or like with most series finales, did it fall a little short? Let's head into the further and find out. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like for this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, I recently started a TikTok for this channel, so I am now on TikTok. Yay! Go ahead and give me a follow on that as well, and I appreciate all of the continued support. Also, I will be including spoilers in this review, even though it's not, I mean, they're spoilers, and it does, I will say the ending of the movie, but it's like, if you've seen one of these, you kind of know where it's going. So I will be giving spoilers, so just a heads up on that. I want to say that the Insidious franchise is one that I've always enjoyed, but I've never really gone out of my way to see them. I did see the first one in theaters way back in 2010, and then I didn't watch any of the other ones until like 2019 when I finally watched Insidious Chapter 2. I think they're fine movies. I never saw the third or fourth one, but I knew going into the Red Door that it was a direct sequel to Chapter 2. So not seeing the third or fourth one really wasn't going to be that big of a deal. And I think that was the right way to go because those first two chapters are ones people are more familiar with, mostly because of the involvement of Patrick Wilson. The Red Door picks up 10 years after the events of the first two chapters of Insidious, and we see that Dalton is all grown up and heading off to college. And I'm not okay with enough time passing between the first film and now that a child can be all grown up and going off to college. I don't like getting old. The relationship between Dalton and his dad, Josh, is very strained, and neither of them remember any of the events that happened in the first two Insidious films due to them having their minds wiped Men in Black style at the end of Chapter 2. And this definitely doesn't come back to literally haunt them, and everybody lives happily ever after. I'm kidding. Everything gets super spooky once Dalton accidentally re-unlocks his ability to astral project after taking an art class at the college he's going to, and he starts painting a mysterious red door. Side note, the preschool I went to was called the Red Door, so I hope they're doing okay. And it's after Dalton starts drawing the Red Door. This is when Insidious becomes Insidious, and you get things like astral projection, you get the further, and you get the red-faced demon, aka the lipstick demon, aka please stop calling him Darth Maul, it's been 13 years. Insidious is also known for its jump scares, and some of the jump scares in Insidious have been legendary, the stuff of legends. Like, if you ask people like what their most memorable jump scares are, like the red-faced demon in Insidious 1 is definitely one that is going to pop up. But the amount of jump scares in Insidious the Red Door do become exhausting after a while, where you're just stressed the whole time. And I know horror movies can make you stressed the whole time, like A Smile did for me last year, but it just seems like you're constantly pop going the weasel with these jump scares in Insidious the Red Door. You'll have one jump scare and then immediately start teasing another jump scare, and if you keep doing that the entire movie, you're gonna start seeing diminishing returns where you're like, please, I just wanna sit here and enjoy this. Please stop putting me through this. The Red Door also likes to go to the well of person out of focus in the background slowly sneaks up behind our protagonist. It does that a few too many times for my liking in this movie. I see you there. Aww. The story this time out in Insidious the Red Door does try to branch out and look at like shared family trauma and mental illness, and this is nothing new for the horror genre in a post-Babadook world, but it's nice to see the Insidious franchise try to branch out and do new things. Patrick Wilson directs this time out, which is probably why his character of Josh has so much depth and has so much to work with, and why it's more of an in-depth character study on why he is the way that he is. And also Patrick Wilson does a really good job of making the movie look very visually interesting, or at least visually interesting enough to not break what works for this franchise. But I'm not sure if his directing is to blame or the screenplay by Lee Whannell and Scott Teems for what I think is the worst part of Insidious, and that is the college aspect. Insidious the Red Door works the best when it's being insidious, not insidious the college years. Everything with the college part is so cliche. You've got Dalton and Josh going around campus. Dalton's an art student, so he's more like artsy, and his dad's like, join a frat, and he's like, I don't want to join a frat, you don't know me at all. And then the art teacher, who's like the catalyst for all of the reopening Dalton's mind or whatever, is like the stereotypical art professor's like, you're going to fail this class, destroy all your past work, you're going to fail, get out of my class, you'll never make it as an artist. And I've been to college, and I know a lot of professors, and most of them want you to stay in their class so they can get paid. And most professors on the first day just go over the syllabus. You also have the new character of Chris, who is like the sassy friend, who is like the girlfriend, but not the girlfriend, but she's gonna become the girlfriend. And she's not a bad character, and I think her actress does a wonderful job portraying her, but the character says things like somebody asked an AI to insert a Gilmore Girls character into Insidious. And then there's the stuff with this character named Nick the Dick, who's like this frat guy who is trying to wants to go back to a time when men can be men, and everybody in the frat's like, that's not how it is anymore. And they're trying to make a statement on how masculinity has changed and how the portrayal of masculinity has changed. But I'm just kind of like, why? Nick the Dick is supposed to be the comic relief in this, but he comes off more annoying and really shallow than anything. You can't have a movie that's dealing with deep emotional family trauma and then also have this character being a diaper at a frat party. You can't have it both ways, Insidious. Also, the whole back half of the movie felt like we'd already done a lot of this stuff before. You have to go into the further to save Dalton. Is somebody possessed by the red-faced demon this time? And all that's very, it's done very well. The movie knows that it's an Insidious movie, and it does that very well. But it feels kind of been there, done that a few times too many. And I did get a little confused by the end because I did not watch the previous two or the third and fourth one before seeing this. So I did get confused by what happened in the events of chapter 2 because that involves some time travel. So it was kind of hard keeping all of that straight in my mind, but that's more of a me thing than a you thing. But I did want to point out that I did get a little confused. Also, a spoiler for the ending, I kind of didn't understand what they were doing, why Dalton painting over the red door, his actual painting closed the red door. I feel like they could have done that earlier. Had he just listened to one Rolling Stones song, the movie would be 5 minutes. That's a great joke that 4 of you will get. Overall, Insidious The Red Door is a perfectly fine conclusion to the Insidious franchise if you actually believe it's ending. According to the box office numbers that are coming out today, it's making a bunch of money at the box office because as much as a lot of you all hate it, that PG-13 horror money, make it rain. Also, there's an after credit scene that shows the red door flickering a little bit, so they're gonna make more. They're going to. In a world where finales like Halloween Ends exist, you can do a lot worse than Insidious The Red Door. I think fans of the franchise will find a lot to like here, and I do think it's a solid outing, even if it is a little more middling, which is why I give Insidious The Red Door 3 out of 5. But what did you think? Are you a fan of the Insidious franchise? Was The Red Door a good conclusion to you? Or were you kind of it was okay, it was fine, but it could have been better? Let me know in the comments below, let's talk about it. As always, please leave a like for this video and subscribe to the channel, and until next time, stay weird. Oh, it's a light.